From the archives of the United States Cavalry, the true stories of Colonel Ranald Mackenzie and the cavalrymen he led. Mackenzie's Raiders. His secret orders from the President of the United States. Clean up the Southwest. Make it a fit place for Americans to live. Wipe out the renegades, outlaws, and murderers. If necessary, cross the Rio Grande, knowing capture means hanging by the enemy. Discovery, court-martial by the United States Army. The year 1873, and the introduction of a new Army instrument of communication, the heliograph, flashing messages across the vastness of the Texas frontier. It would help to tame a new land, aid in bringing security and safety to pioneer settlers. And to the men in Colonel Mackenzie's command, isolated by sand and space, short on supplies, badgered by Indians and renegade marauders, the heliograph could become a lifeline to the outside world. October 13th, 1873, a convoy of munitions and a small detachment of cavalry moved south toward the Rio Grande, their lives dependent on a mirror and a flash of sunlight. The message spelled danger, hostile Comanches waiting in ambush ahead. So the lieutenant turned his convoy away from the main trail. Yes, to Colonel Ranald Mackenzie in command at Fort Clark, the heliograph could well become a lifeline. But instead, on this occasion, it became a death line.
All right, let's shake it. All right, let's get started for Brackettville.
That's Thompson, sir. We've been together ever since Gettysburg.
Why were they off the main trail?
I don't know, sir.
The orders were specific. Follow the main trail all the way to Fort Clark.
Somebody must have wanted those guns almighty bad.
Well, they wanted to keep them from the Mexican government. They're going to have something to say about this, too.
Well, maybe the convoy saw Indians and had to leave the main trail.
Query the heliograph station. They probably can't see the canyon from up there, but query them anyway.
I'll get the field unit, sir.
Corporal?
Yes, Colonel.
Take a man and follow those wagon tracks. I'll join you later.
Right, sir. Royce.
All right, you men, keep on with what you're doing. Right here, Sergeant. You realize this is the second shipment in a week we've lost?
Yes, sir.
I don't see why we got to rot here between jobs, Court. I'm getting kind of sick of it.
You can afford to get sick. The kind of money we'll be taking.
I'm sighted on the station now, sir.
All right. You know what to ask them.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hold on. Somebody's flashing. It's Mackenzie. Appears he's real curious what happened to his convoy.
You gonna tell him?
Oh, figure we ought to keep it a secret.
T-I-V-E negative. Just as I thought, Sergeant. They saw those wagons turn into the canyon. They have no idea why. Sergeant, how long have Foster and Jenkins been up at that station?
Oh, they went up last week, sir.
Well, next week when they come down, put them on report. Carelessness. They forgot to acknowledge our word count.
Yes, sir, they'll hear about it.
Come on, let's take out after the corporal, see if he's found the remains of those wagons.
Bone dry.
Yep, this one too, sir.
Well, it looks like the end of the line for today. Rocky country up ahead, almost impossible for trailing. Find the horses, get these wagons back to the fort.
Yes, sir.
Half a day of scouting and trailing. We're still up against a stone wall half the size of the state of Texas.
You have had no word of the guns, amigo?
I'm doing everything I can for you, Ramon. I've got 3 patrols out scouring the desert trying to recover those guns for you.
This friendship between your country and mine, it is very new.
Yes. The friendship between you and me is very old.
True. We have campaigned together more than once. All the same, your president tells us we will have guns and munitions to fight the insurrectos. And the guns do not come.
My president doesn't break his word.
We must have those guns.
And have them you will, if they haven't already fallen into the hands of the insurrectos.
Here in your country?
I'm not saying it's happened. I'm saying it can. Look, north of the Rio Grande, who would steal those guns except for money? South of the Rio Grande, who would have the money to buy them in such large quantities except the insurrectos?
I tell you this, Colonel Mackenzie. We have had incidents along the border, your people and mine, and we have settled them peacefully. But if those guns fall into the wrong hands, there will be more incidents, uglier ones.
No one's broken faith with you, Colonel Bernal. You know that as well as I do. In the past, you've asked us for supplies. We've given you supplies. Now you ask us for guns and munitions. We'll give you guns and munitions.
Your words have a good sound, but they do not speak as loudly as guns.
9 of my men don't speak at all anymore because of those guns. They died trying to protect them. If you think we've given you empty promises, why don't you talk to the wives and families of those men?
You're right, my friend. I was hasty in my anger, but only because of disappointment. Only because my soldiers need those guns and munitions so urgently.
I know. There's a 3rd shipment coming down from the north tomorrow. I've instructed my heliograph stations to keep a watch for them. I'm riding out at dawn to join the convoy. Will you ride with me?
Does the coyote not howl? Does the eagle not fly? Does Ramon Bernal not ride with his friend Mackenzie?
Let's go into dinner.
Gracias, amigo.
Feels like Mackenzie's hanging all his hopes on the heliograph. Nice of him to keep sending us information.
Sure is. His last message says that we got to be extra careful. Watch out for them nasty outlaws that's been stealing them guns.
When's the third shipment coming through?
Tomorrow, Mackenzie himself's going to be with them.
Mackenzie, why?
Keep an eye on things, I suppose.
What's the matter, Cola? You scared?
No. But, well, killing him. What I mean is, with them others, it didn't matter much. But we kill Mackenzie, the whole army will be on our necks.
You want out of this one, Cola?
Well,
Now you listen to me, brave man. You know, you just got one way out. You want to try that way? You want to try that way?
no, of course not, Grjngo. I was just funning with you.
You know, you've been getting all the gravy as it is. Me and Court set this thing up. Me and Court learned that code. 5 years in the Signal Corps, busting our backs for Mackenzie. And you don't want to see him dead? Well, I do. That's the part that's going to pleasure me most.
Oh, cut it out, Grjngo.
Desertion in time of danger. That's how he said it. And we're going to have us a little old possum hunt. And that possum's going to be Grjngo. Well, they never caught that possum, mister. Because that possum just run and run and run till he got just plain sick of running. And now that possum's got himself a gun. And he's going to use it.
What about tomorrow? Same way as before?
Same way. But we better change the place. There's kind of a spot further south along the main trail. Instead of steering them into the canyon, let them come straight on. Me and the boys will be waiting.
Oh, won't they suspect something hitting again so soon?
We'll chance it. I want to hear them guns firing at Mackenzie. All right, let's move it. Be sunup soon. We want to get good seats to the show.
Okay.
Any sign of the convoy?
Not yet.
Maybe it ain't coming.
Oh, it'll come.
You think Grjngo will be ready for him?
I know Grjngo, he'll be ready. A lot ready than Mackenzie.
I couldn't have picked a better spot if I tried. When Mackenzie gets here, he won't know what hit him.
Happy to see you, Lieutenant.
Thank you, sir.
Any signs of trouble?
Not at all.
We'll keep our eyes peeled. This shipment's gonna get through.
Yes, sir.
Forward! Hold!
Morning, and the main trail south to Fort Clark. Dangerous country for a convoy of arms and munitions, vitally needed by the Mexican government. Guarding that shipment, Colonel Ranald Mackenzie, aware that he protected more than guns. For on the convoy's success depended the growing friendship between his own country and Mexico.
Cut that out. I'm trying to listen.
Gotta walk! Ho!
Wagons. Where sound carries in these parts, I put 'em, say 3-4 mile, maybe less. Wait till come easier now.
Hey, will Mackenzie see it?
Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
Yep, court says they're in sight. Better get set for 'em.
Nothing wrong, sir? What's flashing up there?
A message to us, sir?
Get out the heliograph equipment. If it is a message, request a repeat.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Have those wheels examined while we're waiting. Find the one that's dry and see that it's greased.
Right away, sir.
Is it wise to delay, amigo?
Wiser to delay now, Ramon, than risk a breakdown further on.
Hey, Court.
Yeah?
Here, you read code, I don't.
Huh, it's ending?
Just starting to. Trouble, Court?
Nothing I can't wiggle out of.
I guess that explains the flash you saw, sir. He says he was polishing his mirror.
Mm-hmm. Acknowledge his word count. Get a report on the trail ahead.
Yes.
This heliograph is a very good thing, amigo. If there is any danger, your man will warn us.
That's the theory.
He reports the trail all clear, sir.
That's what he reports, huh?
That dry axle's greased, sir.
Good. Have the rest of them greased. I should be back by the time you're ready to roll. If I'm not, wait for me.
Yes, sir. With the colonel's permission, sir. Back from where?
Twice in 2 days, he's broken regulations. Failed to acknowledge my messages with a word count.
I'd be glad to take a trooper up there and chew him out, sir.
I'd rather handle this myself, alone. I want to look the situation over without being observed.
Lieutenant,
Yes, sir.
what did he mean by word count?
To acknowledge the number of words in the message. Normal procedure, Colonel.
Oh. Because a heliograph operator did not follow regulations. This is cause to delay the guns for my troops?
In Colonel Mackenzie's outfit, sir, you don't make the same mistake twice. Not unless there's a good reason. That's funny. No sound of him now.
the matter, boy? Getting itchy?
There's Grjngo is. He's flashing down there.
I better tell him the wagon to stop for repairs. Keep him from getting his quills up.
Where are my men? Where are the men who operated this station? You killed them, didn't you? So you could ambush my convoys.
It was Grjngo's idea.
Who's Grjngo?
He's down at the bend, waiting for your wagons.
Court says Mackenzie must have found out. He's got a whole company coming up from the fort after us. Let's get out of here!
Do you hear that, Lieutenant?
Yeah, hoofbeats. A lot of them.
And very rapid.
Come on up and ride! Carbines and sidearms at the ready! Come on, south, deploy! Corporal, I'll take your horse. You stay here with the wagons. All right, you sons of billy goats, let's ride! Grjngo, I want to know where the rest of those guns are. Right now, Mr. Grjngo.
For my country and for myself, I thank you, mi amigo. Those guns will save many lives.
Good. By the way, I'm packing with them a set of heliograph instruments. They may come in handy.
It is good to have such a friend. Oh, could you ride with me as far as Brackettville?
Does not the coyote howl? Does not the eagle fly? Does not Mackenzie ride with his good friend Bernal?
Mackenzie's raiders did ride again and again, carrying out the secret orders of the President of the United States. Do whatever necessary to clean up the Southwest. Make it a decent place for people to live. Ride with Mackenzie's raiders as they relive the blazing pages of history in the making. From the archives of the United States Cavalry, the true stories of Colonel Ranald Mackenzie and the cavalrymen he led. Mackenzie's Raiders. His secret orders from the President of the United States. Clean up the Southwest. Make it a fit place for Americans to live. Wipe out the renegades, outlaws, and murderers. If necessary, cross the Rio Grande, knowing capture means hanging by the enemy. Discovery, court-martial by the United States Army. May 1873, deep in southwestern Texas, an area overrun by renegade outlaws and marauders, without roots since the end of the Civil War, fighting ruthlessly, stealing and killing as they please. Such a man was Roger Forsyth. He called himself Major and led a band of vicious criminals. Riding roughshod, Forsyth's bloody trail pushed farther and farther to the north.
There, I'll take that.
Only Colonel Ranald Mackenzie, commanding the 4th U.S. Cavalry, stood in Forsyth's way. Mackenzie's orders, clean up the Southwest, regardless of cost to yourself and your men. To help accomplish the job, Mackenzie had in his command tough, well-trained civilian scouts, men familiar with the remote reaches of southwest Texas.
We found the Indian girl Forsyth's been seeing. She lives in the cabin right here.
On his last raid, Forsyth got some women's clothing. So it's logical to suppose that he'll be showing up at that cabin before the day's out. What's the best way to attack it?
From back here on the mountain.
Is the cabin visible from there?
No, but it is from over here.
All right, Willis, you and a trooper take up this position. As soon as you see Forsyth enter that cabin, signal me back here on the mountain.
Yes, sir.
In the meantime, Burgess, take up a position on this road. That should block his only other route of escape, shouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, boys, that's it. He's there. All right, let's go.
Woman, you better let me catch you if you want to keep that dress. All right, come on now, come here. Come here.
No.
Find the others. Be at the fort tonight.
Well, Colonel, this is an unexpected pleasure.
Pleasure is mine, Major Forsyth.
Colonel, the other two got away. Shall we go after them, sir?
No, let him go for now.
Colonel, this horse has got the cavalry brand on it.
Indeed. Well, in that case, let's walk Major Forsyth back to the fort.
Wait a minute, Colonel. I bought that horse.
I'm sure you did. See that he keeps up with the column.
Yes, sir.
Detail at a walk. Oh.
The morning of May 12, 1873. While Mackenzie was away from Fort Clark, General Miles Donovan, office of the Adjutant General, arrived from Washington on an inspection tour.
Well, dear, did you have a nice ride?
Well, if you call cantering around the drill area a ride. It seems that no woman is to ride from the post unescorted by order of Colonel Mackenzie.
Perhaps he had a good reason for issuing that order.
Any sign of the Colonel?
No, not yet.
Father, I'm sure if Colonel Mackenzie knew you were coming here on an inspection tour,
It
he would
wouldn't have made any difference. General Sheridan put Mackenzie in command of this post because he thought he was the right man for the job. Perhaps he is. He's an individualist and does things in his own way. And that's what's needed to bring some sort of civilization to this part of the country. A man who isn't afraid of anything. Not even of a three-star general.
Search him.
Yes, sir. Take off that jacket.
Nobody's to talk to this man. Nobody's to go near him unless it's absolutely necessary. Understood?
Yes, sir. Turn around.
With General Donovan at the fort, Mackenzie was faced with a dilemma. Only two men, General Sheridan and the President of the United States, knew of Mackenzie's secret orders. Cross the Mexican border when necessary. At the risk of court-martial, these orders could not become known to General Donovan.
These reports, Colonel. April the 9th, ranch burned, 5 Americans killed, no retaliatory action taken. April the 15th, freight wagon attacked. Driver, 2 others burned alive, and there are many more here with this same phrase, no retaliatory action taken. Why not, Colonel? You seem to have enough men and supplies.
Well, we could always use more, sir.
Well, then, what is it? Are they going over the border?
Yes, sir. They hit, and then they ducked back across the river.
Oh, the river, the river.
Would you suggest that I cross the river, sir?
And risk a war with Mexico? Get yourself court-martialed out of the army?
Exactly, sir. Come in.
Oh, I hope I'm not interrupting anything important.
Not at all, my dear. Come in, come in. Colonel Mackenzie, my daughter Margaret.
Ma'am?
Colonel Mackenzie?
Well,
Miss Donovan's entrance brought a welcome halt to the dangerous discussion of the river. Later that afternoon, the routine of the fort back to normal, Mackenzie inspected his mounted complement. Unknown to Mackenzie, Forsyth's henchmen, following his instructions, rode to a rendezvous outside of Fort Clark.
We'll wait here until night.
do laundry like a crow, but it was good enough for him.
That's a real good one. Hey, did you see the general's daughter?
Oh, yeah, a real nice girl.
I understand Lieutenant Bowers is so mad at her for confiscating his quarters, he's spitting spikes.
Well, he shouldn't be mad. After all, if he was General Donovan's daughter, he'd be asking for the colonel's quarters.
Hey, Talkie, you want to make $1,000 gold? Come on, Talkie. Give me some water. This is empty.
The blunder of underestimating Forsyth's resourcefulness cost one trooper his life and Mackenzie his long-sought prisoner.
Yes?
Don't make a sound. If you scream, I'll kill you, understand? Now get your coat. Go ahead, that shawl will do. Move.
That's close enough, soldier. I said hold it.
You recognize this lady?
Why, Miss Donovan, what are you...
You've got 1 second to open that gate, trooper. Otherwise, I'll put a bullet right through her head.
Please. Please do as he says. He's coming.
Come in. You sent for me, sir? Yes. Did you hear that coyote?
Yes, sir.
It was too close. I can't believe there's a coyote that close to the fort. We're gonna have a look.
Yes, sir.
It was 4 minutes before another sentry discovered the unconscious soldier. Forsyth had completed his daring escape and had taken with him as hostage General Donovan's daughter, bait to draw Mackenzie out of Fort Clark.
Miss Donovan? She won't be missed till Reveille. That's 7 hours.
You won't if it's the general's?
No. No. If I were Forsyth, I'd head for Mexico as fast as I could travel. If I have to cross the river after him, the general can't know about it.
Well, suppose we can't pick up the trail.
We won't come back until we get that girl.
Yes, sir.
See that the horses are ready. Oh, General. Good evening, sir.
What's all the commotion, Colonel? What happened?
One of the prisoners escaped from the stockade, sir.
Oh, I was concerned about my daughter.
Oh, I wouldn't disturb her, sir. She's probably asleep. It's routine. We'll get him.
Very well, Colonel. I'm sure you can handle it. Oh, you won't forget our talk of this afternoon.
No, sir.
Good hunting, Colonel.
Thank you, sir.
Here. We'll camp here. I'm going to write a message to Colonel Mackenzie. When it gets to be daylight, I want you to deliver it.
What kind of a message?
You might say it's a price tag on you.
What?
He wants you back, he's going to have to pay for you. He doesn't, your father's going to be mighty put out.
Once again, Mackenzie had faced the fateful decision. He had crossed the Rio Grande. Detection meant hanging, with his government powerless to help him.
Woman, get some blankets for my guest.
She'll be your slave. Let her make her own bed.
Listen, you brought me a horse, but that don't mean you got a cinch and bridle on me. Now get the blankets. The blankets will keep you comfortable, ma'am, which is how I prefer my guests.
The tracks are headed that way, sir.
I guess he's camped down by that lake.
Mexican soldiers coming, sir.
Mexican. Take cover, fast. Burgess, this is what we'll do. You and I'll change clothes. You ride my horse. Approach the lake down through this canyon. Let yourself be seen, but don't get within range. In the meantime, the rest of us on foot, with a 5-minute head start on you, will circle the lake and approach the camp from behind. Now, because of those Mexican soldiers, this all has to be done absolutely silently. No orders, no guns. Understood? All right, let's go.
anything happens to my man, you won't live to find one for yourself.
Well, what do you know? We didn't even need a note. He followed us right into Mexico. I think we got the colonel now. Wait a minute. I want the pleasure.
Colonel Mackenzie.
Stay here.
I'll wait until he gets real close so I can't miss.
You all right, sir?
Yes, I'm all right.
Mexican soldiers coming this way, sir.
Get out of sight.
Good morning, General.
Well, Colonel, did you recapture your prisoner?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was quite routine, sir.
Well, I'm glad you got him before he crossed the river.
Oh, yes, I'm afraid our hands would have been tied in that case, sir.
Won't you join my daughter and myself for breakfast?
I'd consider that an honor, sir.
Good morning, Father.
Good morning, dear.
Colonel Mackenzie?
Good morning, ma'am.
Colonel Mackenzie's going to join us for breakfast.
How nice.
You're looking very fresh this morning. You must have rested well.
Yes, Father, quite well.
Mackenzie's raiders did ride again and again, carrying out the secret orders of the President of the United States. Do whatever necessary to clean up the Southwest, make it a decent place for people to live. Ride with Mackenzie's raiders as they relive the blazing pages of history in the making. From the archives of the United States Cavalry, the true stories of Colonel Ranald Mackenzie and the cavalrymen he led. Mackenzie's Raiders. His secret orders from the President of the United States. Clean up the Southwest. Make it a fit place for Americans to live. Wipe out the renegades, outlaws, and murderers. If necessary, cross the Rio Grande, knowing capture means hanging by the enemy. Discovery, court-martial by the United States Army. The Rio Grande, critical boundary between Mexico and the United States. The morning of September 7th, 1873, Emiliano Lopez, personal representative of the Mexican president, bound for Washington. His mission of the utmost importance.
That takes care of Lopez's escort. Cross. Don't kill him! Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Lopez.
That doesn't concern you.
I know someone who does concern. Get the horses. He'll be staying with us for some time.
Despite every precaution, the emissary's route had been revealed. And for Colonel Ranald Mackenzie, who waited to escort the emissary to San Antonio, this treachery was to have far-reaching consequences. Having waited long beyond the appointed time, Mackenzie finally crossed into Mexico. His purpose, find Emiliano Lopez. His orders, secret. The risk, court-martial or death.
They're dead. Any sign of Lopez?
No sign.
I hope it's not who I'm thinking.
Ben Pierce? I hope it is. Then Lopez will still be alive. They didn't waste any time crossing back to the States. Those poor devils. I guess their own patrols will pick them up.
Now they're under your jurisdiction.
Ben Pierce has been under my jurisdiction for some time.
Ah!
Here.
What is it, sir?
It's a spangle. The kind a Mexican official might wear on his saddle.
There are fresh tracks in both directions. Which way did they go?
Look there. One of those horses was unshod. Mexicans don't shoe their horses. That's Lopez trail. Let's go. See the spangles on that white horse?
I count 7 horses. That means he's got 5 men. What'll we do?
Pierce has got Lopez all right, but I've got Pierce's brother, Jed. He's going to be hung tomorrow. Pierce will have to come to me. Today. Let's get back to the fort. Go on.
We don't want you to die, Your Excellency. Do you think he'll change Mackenzie's mind, Mr. Pierce?
Don't let us look fool you, Lane. He's a very important man to Mackenzie and the United States.
Very few people in Mexico are our country knew of your journey. I brought a very important official.
Bought, senor?
Bought. The route you traveled cost me several $100s. Well worth it.
You must realize you are getting involved in an international situation.
It's the other way around. You got yourself involved in a local mess with me and a tough colonel.
You're dealing with Colonel Mackenzie means nothing to me. My mission is vital.
That's just what I'm betting on. That your mission puts enough pressure on Mackenzie's shoulders to save my brother from a rope.
You offend law and order, senor.
Is my behavior so different than your overthrow of Maximilian?
Maximilian was a dictator.
My brother and I ran this country until Mackenzie moved in. Mackenzie and I can't exist together.
How soon will you know?
Sometime today.
Do you realize any delay might be disastrous for Mexico?
I'm sorry, senor. That's your problem. For the time being, you're working for me. Take good care of him while I'm gone. If I'm not back by sundown, kill him. My apologies, senor.
The orders are explicit, sir. Lopez is to be transported secretly and safely at all costs.
And he must be in San Antonio not later than 8 o'clock on Thursday. That means he's got to leave here not later than sunrise tomorrow. Now, Trooper Allen.
Good morning, sir.
Will it be ready on time?
Yes, sir.
This your first execution, son?
Yes, sir. And I don't like it.
None of us do. Carry on, Allen.
Yes, sir.
Come in.
Pardon me, sir. Ben Pierce is here. He wishes to speak to the colonel.
Show him in. I'll see him alone.
All right, Mr. Pierce, you can come in.
Good afternoon, Colonel. Hope you're not thinking of putting a rope around my neck. Lopez will be dead if I'm not back before sundown. Oh, it's a nice-looking gallows you're building. It's too bad you won't be able to use it. I give you credit, Colonel. You gave it a good try. You even had the settlers believing in you.
Come to the point, Mr. Pierce.
I thought you knew the point. My brother Jed's riding out with me.
Oh? And Senor Lopez?
You can trust me. He'll be free.
The only thing I can trust you to do is to continue your stranglehold on the settlers, to continue murdering anyone who steps in your way.
That's your fault, Colonel. There was no trouble until you came along. They gave me everything I wanted, gladly.
Fact remains, I'm holding your brother.
He's no more in jail than you are. I raised Jed from a kid like a son. You think I'd let him end up this way?
You raised him to be a murderer. This is the way murderers end.
Not Jed, Colonel. You see, I know how important Lopez is.
All right, Mr. Pierce. I'll turn over your brother when you turn over Lopez.
You know I won't do that.
If that's what you're asking me to do.
You have no choice. I'm dealing the cards.
Then you'll deal them off the top of the deck or there'll be no game.
You haven't the guts to allow Lopez to be killed. You'd lose that bird on your shoulder.
Nevertheless, as it stands now, your brother Jed will be hung in the morning.
As it stands now, if my brother hangs, so does Lopez.
I told you an exchange of prisoners is the only thing I'll consider. Good day, Mr. Pierce.
What kind of exchange?
You're to escort Lopez. Come alone, unarmed.
We'll be with Jed.
Just me, also unarmed.
Where?
Outside Brackettville. Sunset.
No, it's too close to this place. Sunset's fine. Let's meet at Twin Forks. It's closer for me.
All right. Just one thing. How can I be sure it's Lopez that you'll turn over to me?
A man has to have some faith, Colonel.
Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Close the door. be an exchange of prisoners at sunset, just outside Twin Forks.
It's a 4-hour ride, sir.
That's right. I've got to get there before he does to protect myself. My orders are explicit. Senor Lopez has got to be given safe conduct to San Antonio. I've got no choice.
You're also obliged to capture and execute Jed Pierce and his brother, sir.
I'm aware of that, Lieutenant.
But how do you know you can trust Jed Pierce?
I've given my word.
But he's constantly broken his in the past.
Yes. Yes. Benedict.
Yes, sir?
You're to ride armed escort. Get Jed Pierce ready to ride immediately. Then meet me 2 miles this side of Twin Forks at sunset.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant. Lieutenant, who's the best marksman on the post?
Corporal Dixon has the best record, sir.
Is he familiar with the telescopic sight?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to see Corporal Dixon immediately.
The men are on the rifle range, sir.
Immediately, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Mackenzie now faced his first great dilemma at Fort Clark. His orders were to bring peace to the area and at the same time deliver the Mexican emissary to Austin the following night. In order to fulfill these conflicting orders, Mackenzie realized that time was his key factor. Time to beat Ben Pierce to the exchange spot. In order to do it, he had to perform the impossible.
Corporal Dixon's waiting outside, sir. This is his latest handiwork.
Let me see. Yeah. He'll have to be at least this accurate.
Benedict left with Jed Pierce 5 minutes ago, sir.
Have Dixon come in.
Corporal Dixon?
Yes, sir. Corporal Dixon reporting, sir.
Be with you in a minute, Corporal. Lieutenant, have 2 of our fastest horses prepared.
Yes, sir.
Oh, stand easy, Corporal. You ever witnessed an exchange of prisoners?
Yes, sir.
Think you understand the procedure?
I think so, sir. The one I saw went according to the book.
Well, I'm going to ask you to join me in one that may not go according to the book. Give me a hand with these boots.
Yes, sir.
I understand you're my best marksman.
Thank you, sir.
You familiar with the telescopic sight?
Yes, sir.
I'm exchanging a prisoner for a Mexican official at Twin Fork at sunset.
Yes, sir.
Now, it may all go according to the book, in which case your orders are specifically to do nothing. You understand that now, Corporal? If it goes according to the book, you're to do nothing.
Yes, sir.
However, there may be some treachery. In that case, your job is to protect that Mexican official at all costs. That Mexican official must be unharmed. There's no way to change that order. You understand?
I understand, sir.
Now, it may be that you'll see a pistol at Senor Lopez's head, in which case that pistol is to be your target.
The pistol, sir?
Exactly. If you shoot at the man holding the pistol, it might possibly go off. Senor Lopez is to be protected at all costs.
I understand, sir.
You've got to be at least as accurate as this. You think you can do it?
Yes, sir.
Good boy. All right. We leave immediately. No extra gear, no sabers, no weight. We travel as light as possible. Wear moccasins. Corporal, you're going to ride as you've never ridden before in your life. It's imperative that we get there before anybody else.
Yes, sir.
That's all. Lieutenant?
Yes, sir.
Horses ready?
Yes, sir.
Dixon already has his orders. It's going to be forced ride the whole way.
Yes, sir.
September 7th, 1873, early afternoon. Colonel Mackenzie and Corporal Dixon rode against a deadline. Their destination, Twin Forks. Their purpose, to arrive before sunset to guard against possible treachery by Ben Pierce during the prisoner exchange.
He's gone lame, sir.
All right, mount up with me.
Well, what about the horse, sir?
He'll find his way back to the fort.
We'll never get there in time, sir.
We'll get a fresh horse at Becker's.
Where's Jed?
We'll get him. We're going to exchange him for Jed at Twin Forks.
When?
Sunset. Mackenzie and I agreed to meet there alone and without arms.
Well, how can you trust Mackenzie?
If Colonel Mackenzie says he'll be there, he'll be there. Anyway, he had a hard ride to look forward to. Didn't give much time for thinking.
You mean you plan to go alone?
I wouldn't say that. You'll be there.
So, you're going to kill him?
I never for a moment thought otherwise.
What about me, senor? Do I go free? I must reach Washington. My government will pay you for my release.
I want my brother. You're only important to me as a way of getting him back.
You know, senor, we have a man in Mexico just like you. You're all the same no matter where you live. Filth!
I don't see any difference. You're willing to do business with me when your life's at stake.
Out of necessity only, senor. If I had the chance, I would open your throat.
But you haven't the chance, have you, senor? Nor Mackenzie either. Not now.
Mr. Becker.
Hi, Colonel. You sure look mighty beat up. What's up?
I haven't got time to explain. We need a new horse.
You want to bore my horse so he can run him like you run him, eh? I ain't that rich, Colonel.
We'll give you good money for him.
Yeah, let me see.
I'm not carrying any money with me. You'll have to take my word for it.
I'm afraid you'll have to look someplace else, Colonel. I don't know you long enough to cotton to that sort of deal.
Corporal, saddle that horse.
Yes, sir. Now, look here.
I'm sorry, Mr. Becker. You'll have to take my word for it. You've got no choice. Come on, Corporal. We've got to make up that time.
This old horse is doing the best he can, Colonel.
Not quite. Let's travel 40 pounds lighter. Get rid of that saddle.
Oh. We made it, Colonel.
Yeah.
We beat him here.
Now remember your orders, Corporal. The Mexican official is your responsibility. No harm is to come to him. If there's a gun on him, that gun's to be your target.
Yes, sir.
Oh. I'll leave this with you.
Colonel, are you sure?
Just you be sure.
Looks awful quiet up there, Mr. Pierce.
Yeah, I got the cards stacked on my side this time. Come up under cover after Jed and Mackenzie get there.
Sunset, time of the prisoner exchange. Following his prearranged plan, Mackenzie met Jed Pierce and his guard 2 miles outside Twin Forks.
Any trouble, Benedict?
No, sir. Where did you come from, Mackenzie?
You're not the only business I have to attend to, Mr. Pierce. My coat.
What's that get up for?
Giving exchange according to regulations. That's the regular uniform. After you, Mr. Pierce.
Just take it nice and quietly. So you decided to play it straight, huh, Colonel?
I told you I'd be here, Mr. Pierce. Unarmed. Yo soy Coronel Mackenzie. ¿Es usted el emisario de Benito Juárez?
Sí, coronel. Mi nombre es Emiliano López, miembro de la oficina personal del presidente Juárez.
All right, Mr. Pierce, I'm satisfied.
Turn Jed over, Mackenzie.
Follow me, Senor Lopez.
Lane! Lopez is a very valuable foil for me. Now I can get you out of my hair once and for all.
Kill him, Lane.
At least let Lopez go.
I can't afford to. I can't afford to have anyone live and tell about this.
Get his pistol, Lopez! You can add another strike, Corporal.
Thank you, sir. I just pulled the trigger and prayed.
You prayed well.
Sir?
Yes, Lieutenant.
A couple of settlers are waiting outside the gate. Pierce killed their kin. They've requested permission to witness the execution.
Request denied.
This is the first victory for peace in the area. They felt they had a right to share it with you.
They can share in the benefits.
Yes, sir.
Now, Lieutenant, if you would accompany Senor Lopez.
If I may, sir.
Yes.
Why did you want to wear your dress uniform at the exchange yesterday?
Because, Lieutenant, the only way I could honorably take Jed and Ben Pierce was by provoking them into treachery. The best way to do that was by making them think Mackenzie was a tin soldier.
You a tin soldier? Excuse me, sir.
Senor Lopez, vaya con Dios.
Muchas gracias, coronel.
Mackenzie's raiders rode again and again, carrying out the secret orders of the President of the United States. Do whatever necessary to clean up the Southwest. Make it a decent place for people to live. Ride with Mackenzie's raiders as they relive the blazing pages of history in the making. From the archives of the United States Cavalry, the true stories of Colonel Ranald Mackenzie and the cavalrymen he led. Mackenzie's Raiders. His secret orders from the President of the United States. Clean up the Southwest. Make it a fit place for Americans to live. Wipe out the renegades, outlaws, and murderers. If necessary, cross the Rio Grande, knowing capture means hanging by the enemy. Discovery, court-martial by the United States Army. The afternoon of June 8th, 1876, on Mexican territory. Another raid by Scitashi, another risk by Mackenzie. Mackenzie, as numerous times before, had violated the border, fully aware of the consequences if he were caught. But Scitashi had killed and plundered. He and his small band had to be stopped. Mackenzie had no choice but to rely on his secret orders. Clean up the area even if you have to cross the Rio Grande to do it. If the United States government catches you, it'll be a court-martial. If it's the Mexicans, it'll be a hanging.
We're ready, Colonel. Both flanks are secure. They're cut off from their horses.
Where's Conover?
He's posted on the next rise, sir.
Good. And they're completely pinned down. Get back to your position.
Yes, sir.
Scitashi! Scitashi, this is Mackenzie. I have many rifles staring at you. Tell your warriors to throw down their weapons and walk north. That way there'll be no killing. You don't have much time, Scitashi. I'm waiting for your answer.
Federals. Mexican soldiers, a whole troop of them.
How much time have I got?
No time, Colonel. They'll be on us real soon. Want me to stay?
Yeah, Charlie. Keep an eye on Scitashi for me. I'll get the troops back across the river. Looks clear.
Yes, sir.
Let's get across.
Colonel James A. Beasley, Inspector General's office.
Oh, yes, of course, sir. I was expecting you. Sorry I couldn't meet you on your arrival. Something urgent came up.
Lieutenant, were you ordered into Mexico?
Well, Colonel, you see...
Of course he was ordered into Mexico. By me. I'm in command here.
Colonel Mackenzie, I'm placing you in arrest. You'll accompany me back to the fort.
Hard to figure what a difference that miserable little river makes.
Are you ready, Colonel?
Ready, Colonel.
posted, sir?
No, it's sufficient that the colonel knows he's confined to the post.
Yes, sir.
I want full reports from all the men who went to Mexico. That includes you, Lieutenant. Have them made out as soon as possible. They'll go on with my report to Washington.
Won't that mean a court-martial, sir?
That's not for me to decide. The colonel's office?
Yes, sir.
His quarters?
And there, sir.
Those reports are your first order of business, Lieutenant.
The secret orders, by their very nature, prevented Mackenzie from using them as a defense. He could not tell Beasley or anyone else, not even the court-martial officers. In the words of the Secretary of War, if you're caught, you're on your own.
Come in. Oh, Colonel, please come in.
It'll take a while to hear from Washington. I've assumed your command.
You mean you're going to report the incident?
Yes, I am. Do you think I can let pass the shocking disregard of a friendly nation's sovereignty that I witnessed this morning?
Well, it's just that in the field, it's not always easy to do these things true blue.
Maybe so. But I find it incredible that anyone could be so stupid as to risk the security of the United States. Don't you realize this is the only sensitive border we possess? That violating it could bring irreparable damage to our relations with Mexico?
Scatachi is responsible for 19 killings in this territory. Then he skips back across the Rio Grande and thinks he's home free. How else would you propose dealing with him?
As a veteran officer, you should know that no Indian settler or anyone else in the world is worth the grave steps you've taken. I presume you've read your general orders.
I've read them.
Well, you seem to have dismissed them from your mind, as if they don't apply to you, Colonel. Of course, I'll include any statement you wish to make in my report.
The only statement I'd wish to make is that Scatachi must be stopped.
I agree. But I have no sympathy for your actions. As an inspector, I've seen officers, even generals, disobey their orders before, but never have I encountered such flagrant violation. And by one of the model Army officers.
You know, sir, you have quite a reputation as an administrative officer. And I respect that reputation. But I do wish you could see this thing a little differently.
I don't understand. What other way is there to see it? Colonel, don't think for a moment I like what I have to do. I remember you well. As far back as the academy. I was 2 years behind you. Like all other underclassmen, you were the one we looked up to. You were the leading cadet. Have been an outstanding officer ever since. Your career has been brilliant. I'm genuinely sorry that I'll have a hand in the scandal that's bound to result.
Yes. Yes, Colonel, a general court-martial is never a pretty thing to see. But of course, you have your duty to do. That is, unless you could reconsider the circumstances.
Good day, Colonel.
What are you going to do if Scatachi strikes again?
I'll try to stop him, within the limits of the law.
The limits of the law.
Colonel Beasley now faced the problems of frontier command. The overburdened 4th Cavalry was stretched thin to patrol 1,500 desolate miles. Finally, Scout Conover returned from Mexico with word of Scatachi.
Charlie?
Say, is the colonel in?
Which one?
Well, Mackenzie. Who else?
Colonel James J. Beasley, Inspector General's office. He's in command now.
In command? Do you mean that they shipped Mackenzie?
He's in his quarters. He's confined to the post, under arrest.
Under arrest? Oh, you're joshing me, ain't you, Lieutenant?
Colonel Beasley caught us crossing the river.
Oh, that is trouble, ain't it?
The worst kind. Probably means a court-martial.
You mean that's what this fella Beasley is going to recommend?
Well, he doesn't have to. Washington won't have any alternative.
Well, what does Mackenzie say about all this?
Nothing. There's not much he can say. It'll wreck him.
No, he's been in worse trouble than that.
No, he hasn't. The Army's not just his career, it's his life. They might as well kill him as hand him a court-martial.
Ain't there nothing you can do about this?
Oh, install the reports. That's about all. Colonel Beasley doesn't bend easy.
Say, is he in the colonel's office right now?
Yes?
I'm your chief scout.
Oh, you're Conover. Well, I didn't realize we had to have our scouts living undercover in Brackettville.
Well, how else are you going to bring things to light?
Well, that's true. Now then, about Skatashi.
Now, just a minute, Colonel. Before we start talking about Skatashi, how about Mackenzie?
I don't think that concerns you, Conover.
Well, maybe not, but I just happens that I'm going to make it so. Now, what's all this I hear about a court-martial?
I don't know what you've heard. Colonel Mackenzie is under arrest for violating an international boundary.
International boundary? Well, you mean that little bit of a river down there that I can spit across? Why, shucks, Colonel, everybody used that river. I don't see why Mackenzie shouldn't.
Conover, it's useless for us to discuss this.
Why, it's useless for us to try and whip them bandits if we can't use that river.
We're going to do the best we can.
Well, the best ain't good enough in this case. Why, Colonel, when they find out that we ain't going to use that river, there's going to be the biggest commotion that you ever seen in your life.
The United States Army is equipped to administer law and order.
I admit to that, but most of the time the law and order is done on the other side of the river.
Well, according to these reports, things are not half as bad as you make out.
Yeah, well, they used to be. Of course, Mackenzie, he's cleaned up this territory, this area here an awful lot. But he didn't do it by just standing and looking at that river.
You mean this is not the first time he's crossed the Rio Grande?
Why, Colonel, how do you suppose we catch them murderers?
Well, that makes it even worse.
Worse? Well, I didn't come here to make it no worse. I just come here to speak my piece, that's all.
Well, you've certainly done that, Conover. I'll expect this information included in your report.
Report? Oh, shucks, I ain't gonna make out no report.
You're a United States Scout assigned to Fort Clark. You're under my command.
All right then, Colonel. Since you're my new boss, you'll want to know that, in my opinion, Skatashi will begin this afternoon.
Why this afternoon?
Well, a lot of the men will be in the town at that time. And them's the kind of odds that Skatashi likes.
How do you know he's preparing for an attack?
Well, I don't for sure. But it's a cinch that he ain't going to pack up in the middle of the night and go down to that river just for a change of scenery.
How do you know about his movements?
Now, Colonel, you ought to be able to figure that out for yourself.
I'll need more concrete evidence than that.
Well, sometimes, Colonel, that's about all the news that a scout can get. Suit yourself, Colonel.
Hello, Colonel.
Hello, Lieutenant. Is he in?
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Come in.
Sir, I just saw Charlie Conover in the stable area.
So?
If he says Skatashi's going to attack, he's going to attack.
He said in his opinion, Colonel.
Conover's opinion is only the most valuable opinion in this territory. Please, sir, let me take a troop after him.
That's impossible. You're confined to the post.
Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Listen to Conover. Follow up his report with as many troops as you can muster.
All right, Colonel, I will. I've never lost respect for your experience in the field.
Thank you, sir.
Fort Clark, and a critical moment in history. Settlers to be protected, roads to be patrolled, a border to be guarded. Many more problems than the 4th Cavalry could hope to cope with. And in command, Colonel James J. Beasley, a desk officer. Colonel Beasley, by his arrest of Mackenzie, had forced himself into a command position. Mackenzie's only hope for the continuance of his Army career now rested with Colonel Beasley.
And of course, from their position on the river, I figure they're headed toward the settlement, see?
Lieutenant, I'd like to have a word with the troop before we move out.
They're here, sir.
You must have misunderstood me, Lieutenant. This is not nearly enough men.
I understand that, sir. These are the only men available.
Lieutenant, there are over 200 men assigned to Fort Clark.
I can read you the duty roster, sir.
Whatever the other men are doing, relieve them and have them join us.
The only men on the post are the cooks and the guards. Everyone else is out on detail.
You mean out of 200 men, this is all we can assemble?
There's 1,500 miles we're responsible for, sir. There's not a man wasted, and we're still short.
Well, we better get started.
Colonel Beasley took Conover's advice and rode out to the settlement in hopes of surprising the renegade Skitashi.
Mother inside. Well, the mother will be all right. Little girl's dead.
Can we cut them off at the river?
Well, they've got a good start, but we can try.
Leave a trooper with the mother. Come on, let's go.
He wants to know if you're coming after him.
Yes, sir.
You sent for me, sir?
Colonel, the settler's child is dead.
Yes, I know, sir. Conover told me.
What did she know about it, Colonel? What did she know about reservations and rules and rivers? All she knew was this doll. I could never stomach death. I guess that's why I'm an administrator. Only 4 troopers.
Well, I guess that's the way it is all over the West, sir.
I imagine so. It's hard to believe. Hard to believe such a situation exists. You know, my daughter has a doll like this.
Was the little girl the only one killed today, sir?
Yes, the only one. But that's the same as 1,000, isn't it?
I suppose it is, sir, if you look at it that way.
He just stood there across the river, staring, waiting. I'm sure the men didn't understand why I didn't go after him.
They understood, sir. I doubt if they liked it, but they understood.
I didn't like turning back either. But what are you supposed to do? An officer lives by hard and fast rules.
Sometimes, sir, an officer finds that those rules don't always apply.
But they have to.
Yes, sir.
Meantime, Scatashi is still free.
He'll have more men soon.
Well, where will he get them?
From the reservation. They'll hear about his success. He'll grow confident. They'll come and join him.
So the longer the situation persists, the more disastrous it becomes.
Exactly. Today, he's a renegade. Tomorrow, he may overrun the whole territory.
Colonel, what would you do if I gave you back your command?
I'd find Skatashi's position and I'd wipe him out.
Wherever the position may be?
Wherever the position may be.
All right, Colonel. The command is yours.
No, about 4 miles down the road by the crossing.
How many men?
Oh, he's still got the same handful. I don't know how long they'll be there, Shucks. He moves around an awful lot.
Yeah, that's Skatashi. We caught him sitting still once. He's not going to let it happen again. Lieutenant Paxson.
Yes, sir.
Assemble a troop. Full fighting gear.
They've been standing by since Charlie rode in, sir.
Good.
Colonel, I'd like to go with you.
Well, we need all the help we can get. Happy to have you with us, sir. What's that?
The Colonel's report, sir.
When does the courier leave?
Not until Saturday, sir.
There'll be plenty of time to take care of this when we get back.
Yes, sir.
You ready, Colonel?
Ready, Colonel.
Well, as near as I can figure, they've been gone for, about an hour, traveling along the river.
What about federales?
Well, I think we're all right there.
We've been 2 hours on Mexican soil.
Well, there's not much risk as long as we stick this close to the river.
Won't Skatashi move south if he finds out we're after him?
Let's hope he doesn't. I never did like the idea of a Mexican rope around my neck.
This is pretty hot there for a minute. Did you get him?
I got him.
Skatashi's dead, sir. The rest have surrendered. I got some good advice for IG officers. Stay behind the desk. Sorry to cause you so much trouble.
That's our job.
My job. Those reports, Colonel.
I'll send them on to Washington.
No, you won't. Tear them up, Colonel.
Come in. Yes, Lieutenant.
I hate to bother you, sir. How do I list Colonel Beasley's death in the casualty report?
Just as we list all other deaths on Mexican soil. Killed in action. Period.
Yes, sir.
Mackenzie's raiders rode again and again, carrying out the secret orders of the President of the United States. Do whatever necessary to clean up the Southwest. Make it a decent place for people to live. Ride with Mackenzie's Raiders as they relive the blazing pages of history in the making.